Minasan, konnichiwa. This is Matt Okahara from the Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps, and in this upload we're going to be going through some questions from Ask Me Anything session that we did online just a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, it's not the shooting season at the moment, so instead of shooting I am out riding in Yamanashi. Now, for a channel called Gun Samurai, some of you may be wondering why I'm trekking through a forest in Yamanashi. And the answer is that this is the former Kai province, which was of course the province of the very famous samurai Takeda Shingen, and these very forests were the ones that he used to conceal the build-up of his forces before attacking Shinshu on his conquest through Japan. So this is as good a place as any to think about some of the answers to the questions that were asked during the Ask Me Anything session. Many of the questions I answered using direct messages and comments, but I held a few over to make this video. And by the way, if you have any further questions that you would like to ask, just add them into the comment box on this video. And now, with the introduction complete, let's begin. What are the legal requirements to work with firearms in Japan? As many of you are no doubt aware, Japan has some very strict firearms laws. That means in order to work with firearms in Japan, one has to be licensed. I previously made a video about firearms licensing in Japan, and I'll put a link to that above so that you can watch it at your leisure. What school or style of shooting do you practice? The Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps practices the Morishige-ryu of Hojutsu. This school of shooting doesn't focus on one particular type of firearm, such as Sekiryu. It focuses on every type of firearm that is available or was available during the feudal era of Japanese history. Can I build my own Hinawaju? As I mentioned previously, firearms laws in Japan are very strict, and so in Japan you certainly couldn't build a matchlock gun, and that would go for the same in the United Kingdom, where it would be counted as a lethal barreled weapon and therefore it would require a license. However, I think possibly in America, black powder laws are slightly different, and you would probably need to speak to someone, YouTubers or gun tubers as they like to call themselves, about that subject. Where do you get your firearms from? Whilst being trained, members of the team usually borrow a firearm from one of our other members. However, once they have passed what is loosely called a probationary period and they become a full member, they're expected to get their own firearm. In Japan, these are normally found through auction houses, sometimes even on Google auctions, or you can buy them from other gunners who have perhaps got a collection and want to get rid of one of their guns. Where do you get your armour from? Various other teppotai or gunnery units that we've shot with previously, they have their own rules regarding armour. Our armour is more like a uniform and it's black, the same as the castle, and we get it from a company called Marutake Industries, and they make props for samurai era films and movies. How do you get into Japanese gunnery? There are various shooting teams around the country, and I can't really go into details about how they would go about their own recruitment process. But from experience, I can talk about the Matsumoto Jo Teppotai and their recruitment process. So a little bit different to other martial arts clubs where you can turn up and join and try it and see if you like it. The first part of joining the Matsumoto Jo Teppotai is to have an interview to see if you're actually suitable to carry out the duties of a gunner. If you pass the interview, which is carried out by the captain and the deputy captain and the treasurer, then the next thing that you need to do is to get a firearms license. Of course, you can't shoot a gun unless you have a license. However, while studying for your license and waiting for the process to become completed, there are activities that trainee gunners can get involved with, for example, helping set up the range and assisting gunners with their duties. I've made a full video about the recruitment process and the training of new gunners, so I'm going to link that above as well, so at your own leisure you can watch the video and find out more about the recruitment and training process for our team in particular. Are there modern reproductions of these firearms? In Japan, with its very strict gun laws, there are no modern reproductions. Everything that we fire is a historical artifact, and thus it has to be registered with the prefectural government whilst the licensing process is being carried out. However, I do know of an American who I have lost touch with, unfortunately, and he was in the process of studying making reproductions of these firearms, and his armory is called Saika Armories, and I hope he's doing well and that he is making some decent matchlocks. What are the commands given by the captain? Whenever you see our videos or whenever you come to see us live, you'll see that most of the shooting happens under the direction of the gun captain and that he gives specific orders. And when you come to see us live, of course, I'm there to translate it into English. And I think that is going to be a really good video to make. So as opposed to answering that question now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video together about all the orders that are given in Morishige-ryu Hojutsu, and hopefully you will all find that interesting. Okay, so I think that's enough for now for the Ask Me Anything session, but don't forget, like I said at the start, if you do have any questions that you do want to ask, just drop a comment in the comments box below, or look us up on Instagram, which is our main social media, Gun Samurai, and you can ask us there as well. We'll try and get back to you. I actually enjoy these questions because if I don't know the answer, then I enjoy trying to find out the answer as well. So please do ask as many questions as you can. So thank you very much for watching and for joining us, and thank you to those who asked the questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because it really does help the channel grow. It's still the deep winter here in Japan, so we are outside of the shooting season, but once the shooting season starts again in April, I'll be getting some new footage and uploads. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you then.